So Google server gives you a response, which is a page that is going to be an HTML, CSS, JavaScript page, which is going to be there right on your screen. So you are a client and you are making a particular request. Now, when you make a request, okay, you have written google.co.in, but actually a request does not happen in that particular fashion. How does the request generally happen? The request happens in, let's say, the request happens by giving a particular, let's say, for example, a client wants to talk, if he wants to talk to server, he will need the server's address. Just like, say, for example, you want to order food from the restaurant, right? What do you need? You require the phone number of the restaurant guy, right? If you do not have the phone number, you might have to probably go there to that particular address. You require the address or the telephone number. The same way, you require the server's address to talk to the server, right? So you require the server's address, and that address is called as an IP address. Now, every object, or let's say, for example, a phone, a laptop, anything connected to the internet, the minute you switch on the Wi-Fi or you connect the Ethernet cable, anything which uses the internet is going to be assigned an IP address, right? The minute you connect, your phone connects to the internet, it gets an IP address, it gets an address. Now, your phone may make requests to an external server. Let's say, for example, you open the browser, that is an application on your phone. You open the Chrome browser, and then over there you said google.com. So basically, you are making a request from your phone browser. You're making a request or an HTTP request to the Google server, which is somewhere outside, connected somewhere. Now, what exactly is a server, by the way? Server is nothing but a computer, supercomputer, something which has a lot of memory, lot of resources, lot of things which are connected. It's nothing but just another computer where which can serve you a lot of stuff. It is just like saying, if you open up your laptop, okay, it has certain photos and stuff like that, or something like that. But if you would, if you do not have certain things, you would want to request somebody else. So that's exactly what you're doing. You are going to request the server. You're going to take some, notes from another guy. You're going to transfer it via PD or from pen drives. But then, for now, you are requesting something from another guy over the internet, from another server over the internet, and you require that guy's IP address, right? So you require the server's address, and that is the IP address. So client, if he wants to talk to the server, he will need the server's address, and that's called as the IP address. Now, so you require the server's address. That's the next point. Okay. So, but let's say, for example, you have called this restaurant a couple of times. Okay. You have called this restaurant quite a number of times, and when you have called this particular restaurant, you have saved this guy's number with a particular name. Let's say, for example, any particular restaurant that you can think of, XYZ. Okay, you have saved it with a particular name, XYZ restaurant. Now, phone numbers are very difficult to remember. The same way, IP addresses are very difficult to remember. They can be mapped to a particular name. Like, say, for example, Google server, it may be at a particular IP address. So if I go back to, if I check it out on over here, if I write here Google's IP. Okay, Google's IP. What is a Google's IP? You can see it is 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4. So you can ping to the IP address of this particular Google. See, instead of writing over your google.co.in, you could have just written the IP address. But it is easy for me to write google.com because I won't remember this maybe next time. I won't remember this. So it is better for me, instead of writing 8.8.8.8, I can instead write just google.co.in. So I can write a name, just like how you would have a name for a particular phone number. So this is done. So basically, when you write a name, you are actually writing the IP address, and it is getting mapped to an IP address. And that IP address, when it gets mapped, okay, that particular mapping is done by something called as a DNS, that is the domain naming system, okay, or domain naming system. So you have the domain naming system or the domain naming server, which is active in order to map the names of the server. That's not very important, but that's how you need to give the address. The address is very, very important. Okay. Now, after the address, which is important, there is something else which is also very important. Let me say, for example, let's think about a popular messaging app called as WhatsApp, right? You have WhatsApp, which is a messaging app. So let's say A has WhatsApp on his phone. A wants to talk to B. Okay, A wants to talk to B, who also has WhatsApp on his phone, right? So A and B both have WhatsApp, and A wishes to talk to B over WhatsApp. Now, is A directly connected to B? Is A's phone directly connected to B? No. A needs to talk to WhatsApp server. Whenever he wants to talk to B, he will talk to WhatsApp server. Server is there somewhere outside. He'll say, boss, I want to talk to B. Now, when he sends a message, he's a client. This guy is a client, and even this guy is a client. Server is there somewhere outside. A talks to WhatsApp server, sends a message saying, I want to talk to B. Now, the WhatsApp server, now say for example, if A was not connected to the internet, the message that A itself had sent to B, it would never reach the WhatsApp server itself. When it does not reach the WhatsApp server, if you can see on your WhatsApp screen, you will get a circle, if you remember, right? You'll get a circle saying, next to your message, there is a circle, which means that your message has not been sent. It is not sent because there is no internet at all. You haven't sent it to the WhatsApp server. But the minute you get a single tick, it means that, okay, you have sent a message. It has reached the WhatsApp server. The WhatsApp server has given you a response saying that I've got the message. That's why that single tick comes. But has it gone to B yet? No, because B might not be connected to the internet yet. But the minute B gets connected to the internet, the WhatsApp server will send a message to B, and at the same time, it will send a message to A saying that B has got your message, and resulting in a double tick. The minute B sees the message, the server will again, B, the client, will inform the server, and the server will then talk to A and then say, boss, B has seen the message, and it will be a double tick. Right? Now, one thing that I want to say, so this is about a very popular client-server model. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, if A as a client, okay, that means A has an application WhatsApp, and he sends a WhatsApp message. It goes to the WhatsApp server. Now, from the WhatsApp server, instead of coming to B has an application that is WhatsApp on his phone. Instead of coming to the WhatsApp application, what if that message had landed up in Facebook application? It doesn't make sense, right? It came till the phone. See, IP address is useful until the phone. Every phone has an IP address. But does the IP address tell you which application should I go to? No. IP address can only help you till the phone. Can the IP address help you to an application? No, it cannot. For the application you require, so say for example, my message should land up in WhatsApp and not in Facebook. It should land in a particular application on a phone. So if it lands in a particular phone, I can say IP address is sufficient. But I need something more. And that something more is called as a port number. Every device connected to the internet has an IP address, and every application which is network based has a port number. So this is something which you need to remember.